With nearly half of the world's population, women and girls who are daily faced with myriads of issues that hamper development, especially in Africa. Some of the plights faced by this group must be interrogated if the continent must make progress. This is African Literature on the NTA, the largest television network in Africa. Nena Basi is my name. Thanking you for your time always. To educate a girl is to reduce poverty. These are Kofi Annan's words for us.
The greatest empowerment is education and lowering the inequality and gender gaps. It is said that when you educate a man, you educate one. But when you educate a woman, you educate a nation. Girls are endowed with skills and talents as boys. Women have excelled and distinguished themselves in areas that once were thought to be the exclusive preserve of men. Africa has millions of out-of-school children, and more than half of them are girls, and these are our daughters, future wives and mothers. What level of care would an ignorant and untrained mother bequeath her children in this age and time? The success and stability of the home invariably depends on the training and empowerment of the girl child. Advocacy and enlightenment is vital for the promotion of the rights of the girl. It is right to use every platform and advocacy tool to draw attention to the issues of the girl child and bring an end to gender-based discrimination and violence. Peace Eme Igire, through the tool of literature, supports this advocacy in her novel titled The Girl Child, Stranger Than Fiction.
The storyline is, this book has about 6 chapters, Lost in Your Arms. I started with this, and I called it fiction, but somehow it's a true life story of a young girl who, because of handset, got herself pregnant by a man she could not identify, and the child had no father, could not be traced, and it was so pathetic during the period of her pregnancy. But at the end of the day, her parents, especially her mother, that's what we tried to portray, assisted her to get back on track. She later dropped out of school. She was encouraged to go back. She went back to school, and at the end of the day, she got married. She got into a skill or a vocation she went into tailoring. And when she got married, she had girls for her husband. But she could not bear a male child. And at the end of the day, her husband adopted this boy, and this boy became the breadwinner of her entire family. And then she closed by asking herself what would have happened to her if she had aborted that baby. So she encouraged the other young girls who made the same mistake she made, never to think about abortion.
The numerous vices and indulgence by teenagers in our society inspired the writing of the text.
Actually, when I see in my community, the picture of some of our teenagers sadden my mind. And some of them, they really are not living a proper life. And that leads to their destroying themselves during their teenage program period. And I observe too that these teenagers, because of this, some of them are involved in sexual abuse, pedophile, drug abuse, school dropouts, poor mentorship, ignorance, and they are not properly instructed, and all the social vices. So this inspired me to lend a voice for them so that people will understand what they go through as they are growing up. Also, when I look at some careless attitude of some carefree parents whose attitude contribute to the destruction of the girl child as they are growing up, inspired me to lend a voice and so that the society will know what they've been going through. I was also inspired to expose to students so that they can emulate it. Some of the students that were living a bad life, who later changed to become useful to themselves, to the society, and also to their family. All this put together inspired me to write the Girl Child book.
For the author, the girl child is more vulnerable to most of the vices in the society. Thus, the focus on her in the text.
For me, the girl child has always been more vulnerable to all these vices we've mentioned. And I also observe, for me, it's been my heart desire to redirect and restructure the life of waywardness that has always existed in the lives of our teenagers. Some of them, it's no fault of theirs. Some of them get involved in all this mess because of pedophiles around them. Some of them because of bad associations. They get involved in drug abuse. They get involved in child abuse. They get involved in trafficking. And all of this put together, I strayed and exposed that the girl child needs our assistance. The girl child needs our help. The girl child, we should be there for the girl child, because if we structure them well, we'll get the best in our society. And that's what really motivated me. And in addition to that, my mother trained me in order to, she guided me so much when I was a girl child. So it's like giving back to what I was given and seeing the way she trained me to my becoming what I am today. Though she didn't go to school, but she really encouraged me because she knew that my going to school will bring out the best in me. So that's why I focus much on the girl child.
She expresses her position in a case of teenage pregnancy.
The society should understand first that the teenager who gets pregnant in this process is not happy. She is depressed, and because of that, she isolates herself. And if she's not guided properly, she could even go committing suicide or committing abortion. So my take ideally is that the parents of this girl should really guide her in order to assist her. They should also involve the person that has impregnated her, so that the family, both parents, should come together to assist this girl child to get the best medical help. Then in addition to that, I don't ascribe to encouraging abortion. No child is a mistake in the society. That's the truth. So what we should do is to counsel this child, encourage this child, rehabilitate this child, and also give the child the proper medical care that she needs. And when we do this, we really assist the girl child so that she will have a safe delivery, and also we will encourage those who need to go back to school to go back to school. And if she cannot go back to school, we will encourage her to engage in a vocation or in a trade where she will be financially capable, emotionally capable of taking care of herself and her girl child.
The carefree attitude of parents, drug abuse, and more are the issues raised in the piece.
Reading this book, one will observe that there are so many life of waywardness that needs to be discouraged. We also see school dropouts as a result of illicit sex. They had immorality. We also observe pedophiles in our society that should be discouraged. We see the careless and carefree attitude of some parents that needs to be cautioned so that they will take proper care of their children, which is a gift for them. We also see drug abuse. Some of them don't want to engage in this, but because of bad association, they engage in drug abuse. We also observe so many social vices that the society is saying no to, that we want to say no to, so that the girl child will not be involved into all this.
Peace Eme lets us into her style of writing.
My style of writing has to do with my techniques, which I applied. It is a reader participation, where at the end of each chapter, the reader is expected to have a mental idea of what his or her opinion should be in lessons to learn. Then, secondly, I also used another technique, which is a suspense style. In that suspense style, it is when the reader is reading my book, he or she is in a level of expectancy, and it's something that encourages the reader not to drop the book, but to read the book from back to back.
The text is written in simple language as the work is intended for students at all levels of education.
I used a very simple language, a language that every child will understand, because we are focusing on the girl child. And in addition to that, this is a study tool to schools. So it is a conventional academic language that I try to apply, so that the reader will always want to consult the dictionary to get some answers.
Her inspiration came from things going on in the society.
It's enormous. In the society today, we observe that a lot of women would rather prefer to give their girl child out to live with some people, relatives, friends, or strangers. My book is trying to discourage this. It is not only the girl child, even the boy child. We should not do that. It is important that parents learn to give birth to the number of children they'll be able to conveniently take care of. Another lesson to learn is for the girls. Some believe that it is an easy way out for them to drop out of school, for them to run away from home, but at the end of the day, they get frustrated. And I also observe another lesson that I wanted my readers to learn is that in the life of the girl child, when they involve themselves in bad association, they could tell them that there's a better way out there more than the home, and some of them will prefer that. And that's why you see them getting involved in people who will rather or somehow traffic them, and at the end of the day, they want to fight back in order to get back home. So there are so many lessons to learn. The Girl Child is a book that is worth reading back to back.
The novel has received tremendous accolades from the society and government as well.
This book, The Girl Child, Stranger Than Fiction, has really received tremendous response. I want to start from the wife of the governor of Abia State. She was so much impressed when she read the book that she had to write the foreword of this book, The Girl Child, Stranger Than Fiction. In addition to that, the Abia State Ministry of Education also received the book and made it a study tool, because this is a book that touches the lives of our young girls, that touches the life of our teenagers. So from that JSS 1 to 3, when they begin to read this book, they begin to appreciate the importance of education and focusing well in order to turn out to be the best in the society. So the book has been tremendously received. When I knew I made an impact when I was writing this, is the young girl that was typing this book. I was beside her, I was watching her, and as she was typing, she was really crying, and it touched my heart. And I had to ask her, why are you crying? She said, Mommy, you just illustrated most of the life that I lived that brought me to this level when I was small. I said, if only I had seen this book before then, I wouldn't have made the mistake I made. We also see some young girls who have a teenage youth initiative program that we organize. When we give them this book, they come back with a lot of lessons, a lot of appreciation to encourage me, to tell me that if they had seen this book, the mistakes they have made, they wouldn't have made it. So tremendously, it's been fun, it's been exciting, and I have God to thank for everything, for the vision, and also for the way this book has been overwhelmingly received.
Is there any technique in literature that can place two or more things side by side in order to bring out their difference? Well, search no further, as up next is the answer.
Juxtaposition is a literary term which places two or more elements side by side in order to emphasize their differences, reveal surprising similarities, or explore a unique relationship between the elements. Juxtaposition challenges a reader to reconsider and discover elements typically kept apart by placing them in contact with one another. It can occur in literature between characters, settings, events, ideas, or actions in order to encourage the reader to compare and contrast the entities. The act of placing, or the state of being placed, in nearness or contiguity started in the 1660s from France. Foils are seen to sound like juxtaposition because they are a specific type of juxtaposition. All foils are juxtapositions, but not all juxtapositions are foils. A few examples of foils versus juxtaposition include foil, God and Satan, symbolizing good and bad. Juxtaposition, heaven and hell. Foils are types of juxtapositions that apply specifically to characters who highlight difference in other characters. Examples of juxtaposition: calm and chaos, beauty and ugliness, dark and light, weakness and strength. Importance of juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is an important literary theme in that it highlights contrast between two things but also invites comparisons. It can be used to fully illustrate a character in a novel, complicate a poem's subject, or convince an audience to feel a certain way about the subject. It can be used to consider universal ideas such as love and war. On the other hand, juxtaposition is often used in comedy as two largely different things placed in the same place can result in funny and strange situation. It helps the reader see a single thing in a more complex way.
Our next segment will spotlight an African woman who is passionate about the welfare of the next generation, especially the girl child.
I am a girl child. I need your help. Help me build my self-esteem and dignity. Create an enabling environment for me against child abuse, rape, and other social vices. Attack this menace for me. Mitigate the violence now. Heal my heart. Make me proud of myself. Don't let me live in fear. Give me the voice that I need. Help me feel a good presence in you. Remove the ignorance. Create pride in me. Engage me constructively. Expand my horizon.
The Girl Child, Stranger Than Fiction, is a novel that looks deep into the plight of the girl child and an exposure to the dangers faced by teenagers on a daily basis. The novel touches also on the role of parents and caregivers, which is crucial to the making or marring of the destiny of a child. Peace Eme Igwe, the author of The Girl Child, is the daughter of the great legend of Iberi, late Chief Elisha Uko Ogo, and late Mrs. Christina Ogo. Her father is of Awalu royal family, Amuku Igbere, Bende, local government area of Abia State, Nigeria. She's married to Eziogo David Eme Igwe and blessed with children. Peace Eme Igwe is a financial guru, holds a bachelor degree in accounting, a fellow certified Nigerian accountant, Associate Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, a postgraduate student of Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudiki, a proficient tutor of the British Council International English Language Scheme, and an international auditor by posting of the Ministry of Finance. For love and passion, for writing and presentation, she has presented the Ibere Ebiri program on radio, co-produced NTA Children's Variety Show in Umuahia. She is also a girl child and teenage coach. Her work, The Girl Child, has a foreword written by the First Lady, wife of the Executive Governor of Abia State, Nkechi Caroline Ikpeazu. Some of her works include Nigerian Youth Corps member, co-author of Ibere Ebiri Past and Present, Save the Last Dance, The Trapped and a Poem, My Passionate Moment. She runs an Ibere initiative program which she uses to assist and instruct teenage girls against teenage pregnancy, dropping out of school, drug abuse, and other social vices which affect the girl child more. She has also won some awards. Most Initiative Corps member in Lagos State as a corps member, and also an award as a youth icon.
It's our responsibility to secure our future by investing in our today. Up next is our wise saying. Do have a great day, and thanks for being with us.